Hey guys, so tonight Melissa and I are back, and we are back with the part two of The Woman in the Well. So if you guys was listening a couple of weeks ago, we did an episode, our first episode of Murder and Mayhem, or Murder, Mayhem, and Monsters. This season we're just going to have the story of The Woman in the Well. So this is the part two of the one that we did a couple of weeks ago, where we're going to wrap up and talk about who they arrested and that wasn't the one that actually did it, or at least don't think that he did. So I have Melissa again here tonight, and we are doing this recording, and you guys enjoy. So give us just a little bit. The Woman in the Well. All right. Get to wrap this story up. Hold on a second, ma'am.
All right.
Gotta do my chickens and the one twos. Let's see here.
This is my favorite part that I found. I don't know if you saw that part.
It has been a long time since we had the first class.
A first class hanging.
A first class hanging. Okay. Oh, wow.
We were laughing about that today at work.
A first class. I didn't know they come in first class. Hey.
Apparently, you gotta pay more for those tickets.
My God, that's so bad. So bad. All right, here we go. Hey guys, it's Shell, your rolling MC, and I am the mouth on the mic of Hitting the Streets podcast show. Today, we are wrapping up The Woman in the Well. So a couple of weeks ago, you guys heard us talk about Mrs. Krager. Melissa and I kicked it off with part one of The Woman in the Well, and we were really talking about how crazy this story is. And Melissa is here with us tonight. Melissa, say hello.
Hello.
So we're here to do part two and to wrap this up and to find out what actually happened. So I'm just going to try to recap the best that I can of what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And I know one of the things is that this lady went to the bank to get some money, to cash some money to go buy a house. She was supposed to be meeting up with a real estate agent, broker, whatever,
Right.
To pay for a house. And she cashed her money in tens and twenties. Is that right?
$8,300.
Yeah.
They think.
They think,
in
right.
Tens and twenties, and then who knows what she got out of her
Safety deposit box. That's right. That's right.
Or she had in her belt.
Oh, right. That's right. You know, the crazy thing about this is that Mrs. Krager wore a money belt. She wore a money belt daily. See, I thought she just wore the money belt for that day because she was getting so much money. But she wore a money belt all the time. It had like $3,000 on her all the time. No way.
That's crazy, isn't
I
it?
know.
Seems
So,
strange.
It does. So she winded up going to a pharmacy that was located in downtown Sherman, over there where Lookalikes is right now, called Skillman's or Skirman's.
Mm-hmm.
And she sat there and had breakfast, talked to a man, as they say, that was a real estate agent, and she was going to get money to go buy a house. Come to find out, according to the reports, when I say reports, the newspaper, she disappeared into thin air.
Right. They were really dramatic back then. These news stories.
I'm telling you. So anyway, so we're going to start, Melissa's going to kick it off and start back up where we left off. We did talk about some arrests were made. And let's start there where I think it was a guy that was drunk or something. Well, how did that go?
And the part that, I really think this is the best part of the story, because this guy was drunk and Dennison gets arrested, and he has a note in his pocket about the location of where the body's going to be. And so his explanation was that he had went to a fortune teller to get that information.
Oh, that's right.
And so him and the fortune teller ended up getting arrested because they said, so once they question him and then let him go, but then they end up arresting them again because when they do find the body, it's kind of close to where the fortune teller gave the information for.
Okay, so hold on for 1 second. Let me just back up. So the drunk guy got arrested because they found a note in his pocket of where he went to a fortune teller, and the fortune teller told him where she was and they arrested them again the second time because when they found her, it was in the location where the fortune teller said she would be.
They said it's really close to the. It was a little.
Wow.
It was a little too close to what they said. Remarkably accurate directions to the missing woman's body. So the people that actually found the woman's body, I don't know that we got into that much, but
No, we haven't. We haven't
it was two farmers that had a farm right near the land where she was found, and they were looking for a missing cow apparently, and they saw this old dry well that had a wooden cover on it, and they moved the cover and found her body there. And so it was pretty close. It was just looks like south of Perrin Field.
Oh wow, she was way off.
So it wasn't too far, like near 1417 and Plainview now, that area.
But that was far from where she lived, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Willow Street.
Yeah,
She lived on
Willow
Willow
Street.
Street. That's down here in this area.
But we'll get into who did live near that.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
because we were going to talk about who was arrested in it.
Yeah. I do have a piece. I do have some newspaper clippings that it talks about body of missing woman found in abandoned well south of Perrin Field.
Mm-hmm. And you and I talked about a little bit about the lime that was found on her body.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, y'all. This is awesome.
As someone who
this
loves
is,
crime.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Crime
This is
stories.
off subject and on subject. So Melissa, okay, so we're gonna jump off subject just for a short minute, but let me tell y'all about Melissa. So Melissa and I went to lunch. So we went to lunch to talk about this story before we went on the air. Y'all, so Melissa come and asked me, what does, I can't even tell y'all, what does lime has to do with.
Well, I just want to know what it
Wait.
was. Where do you get it? What is it? I
Oh
see
my
it in
God.
crime stuff.
And she goes, I'm asking you because you watch all that true crime and serial killers.
I'm like, you probably already know this, but I didn't know where you get it. Just curious.
Oh my God. And I said, this is the
I don't
first
need
thing.
any, but
This is the first thing that came out of my mouth. Well, John Wayne Gacy used it quite a bit.
and she knew what it was for
I
too.
did.
So it's to help it with the decay
With
and
the decom-
also,
yes,
and
and the
also with
decomposition.
the smelling
And with the smell. Yeah, exactly.
to cover up the smell.
Y'all, I had to laugh at Melissa. I'm like, really? You just asked me that? Okay, anyways.
Yep, quicklime is a chemical compound known as calcium oxide.
Yes.
I
yeah.
still don't know where to get it though.
No, yeah, we don't have that discussion. That'll be off air.
You're like, that's another one.
That's another time.
Another day.
When we do serial killers, we might bring that up. Okay, so she was wind up. Okay, so she was missing. Now, this is something that I don't know, or did I read it? How long was she missing?
It's about 2 months. Because she went missing on June 17th. And I think it was in August that she was found.
Oh goodness, good lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was pretty close to 2 months when she was found.
Well, I know we did talk about the Rangers getting involved, and I said to Melissa, every time I turn around, every article that I read back in the 1800s, early 1900s, the Texas Rangers were in Sherman for something.
They were involved, yeah. Because we had some crime.
We had some serious crime, some true crime. Anyways, so what happened? So who was arrested? So how did this all go down?
Okay, so her son-in-law was actually the one that was arrested for the murder, but he wasn't arrested until 2 years later.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, hold on. So we found her 2 months later in August and in a well, but they didn't arrest him 2 years later, so
Right.
1948?
Well, and he had been her son-in-law for 26 years.
Okay, so what made them think that he did it?
Well, he had land that was right near the well where she was found.
Holy
And
smokes.
I would imagine, like, they don't, like in the articles that I read, they don't get too much into why they thought that he did it.
Yeah.
But he,
What
from
evidence
what I
did they
understand,
have?
that he didn't have much of an education. He didn't have much of
What
an
motive?
income. There wasn't a lot of a motive, but that's probably what kept them from finding him guilty. So,
So he is, okay, so the fortune teller and the drunk was arrested once, then they was arrested twice due to the fact of the information that she gave, and then this guy. So that was really three at the third arrest.
right. And well, and you know, they sometimes pull people in to question them. So I don't know that they were fully arrested. Maybe they were just bringing him to question. They just, you know, they don't get too much into that. But anyway, so Ernest Millsap, I think is the one that they arrested. And so her daughter had married him, and her daughter, like I said, had been married to him for 26 years. And the daughter had even contributed to the $1,000 reward that the family was giving.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
$1,000 reward for it called it a clue to the mystery. $1,000 reward.
right, and the only thing we really know about Ernest is that he was a World War I veteran with a 7th grade education and was a hard worker. Which, you know, what does that, other than having land near or leasing land near where she was found,
Right.
you know, that seems to be the only connection.
So while we're talking about land and property and stuff, I brought this up earlier before we got on the mics. That building down there across the street from Happy Nutrition and
Sage.
Fellas and
Yeah.
Sage, wasn't that her building? Whose
that
building was that?
Well, it was actually her son's, one of her sons. Of course, you
Y'all know
remember
which
she
building
had
I'm
like
talking about?
11 children. And so, yeah, at the corner of Crockett and Houston.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's that building that has been abandoned for so long, guys. Has the boards up against it's up against it. It's
Next to the farmer's market.
next to the farmers market.
Yeah,
That's what I was
that's
going
the
to say.
best
It's next to the farmers market, and it's on the ghost tour, so
It
it's
is.
haunted.
Yeah, they talk about Miss Krager possibly haunts that building.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was
I
it
know, I
a
was
feed
here-
store? What kind of store
Yeah, it
was
was a feed store, and I've always heard stories of like them having a monkey in the store and a parrot that talked, and yeah.
That's
If
interesting.
you talk to people who have lived here for a long time, that's what they'll tell you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so what happened after that?
so he actually, they had to release him because they didn't have enough evidence to convict him.
Mhm.
And he actually ended up staying married to her daughter for another like 16 years after that until their deaths. Like, you know, she died and then he died a few years later. So,
So who?
so nobody ever
Who did it?
really, we don't know. I mean,
So it's still unsolved.
it's still unsolved.
Where was the death certificate? You showed me a picture of
Yeah,
the death certificate,
so
y'all.
the death certificate is just written really strange because usually those are pretty particular, but this
Right.
one says that the death date, it said on or about June 7th of 1946, which is weird because you and I doing this, we know that she didn't go missing until June 17th.
Yeah.
17th.
Yeah.
So 10 days after what they say she died. So,
That's
I mean,
strange.
and so, and then the other thing is the primary cause of death was listed as best as we can tell.
Mhm.
We can't really read the handwriting very well, but it says murdered at the house of party or parties unknown to me. And then it says, is it an accident, suicide, or homicide? And it says murdered is the explanation. So it's kind of a strange story altogether.
It is, and I read somewhere that they don't know if she died of the broken neck or when she fell into the well or when she was put in the well, however you want to say it, or she was already dead and then they put her in there.
Right.
Or whoever it was.
Right, and they even, I think, I saw an article where it said that they had called in specialists from Austin, Texas at that time.
A toxicologist?
Yeah,
Or-
there
I
were.
saw that somewhere.
There were like two people who specialized in one thing and two
Yeah.
that specialized in something else, and then they they were trying to look at cause of death because
Right, yes.
you know, as she was found in that well, they didn't at first. The initial release said something about her being dead being killed and then dropped into the well.
Yeah.
But then they found blood samples that
Oh, I
made them
see.
think that possibly she was alive when she was dropped in the well
Yeah.
and that she died of maybe a fractured neck. But I don't know that they ever, you know, completely decided which one it was. Of
That's-
course, you know, our, you know, science has changed, you know, it's,
Yes.
we've increased
Yeah.
in ability a
Right.
lot since 1946. So
That was the Waco, and so here's the thing, guys. This story, not only was it in Sherman paper, it was in McKinney, Waco, and Corsicana, and the White Wright Sun. And the one in the Waco said blood and soil of well where the body was found. And it said a state toxicologist said today in the preliminary reports that Mrs. Krager, and she was 82 according to this report, was either thrown into the abandoned well a few hours after she was slain, or that she was dropped into the hole while she was alive and died of a fractured neck.
Right. They hadn't decided. And I will mention the funny, or not funny, but the article in the Denison.
Oh, yes.
The Denison Press that was again printed in the McKinney Examiner in August of 1946. It said, it has been a long time since we've had a first-class hanging in this county. And if we could only lay our hands on the bloody thieves, murderers of Mrs. Krager, it will be such a hanging as the county has never witnessed.
So did they just sell tickets at these hangings? What did they do? The first class? What the hell?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. I was like, what? So there's a lot. So there is okay. So I have to give kudos to Melissa for finding these stories. In this story, I have not heard of until I went to the ghost tour.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of perked my interest. So you bringing this story to our show this month, it's been really interesting to find out. And the sad thing about it is that nobody didn't find her murderer or who killed her.
No, we do have a road named after her though. A little small country road off of, it's just off of Travis Street, north of like where Target and everything is. If you take Travis Street that way, it's just right past that Austin Landing addition,
okay.
housing addition.
Sure.
There is a road named Krager. So I'm guessing that well is over on that land. I have not personally found the
We should go look. You think it's
I
still
don't know
there?
where exactly
You think it's
that
still
would be.
there? How would we find it?
I don't know where we'd find it. They don't ever describe
They
it
don't.
exactly where it is, but yeah, I kind of wondered where it was, but I know it's in that area.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, Melissa, thank you so much. That's a wrap for us on this story, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, it's an unsolved mystery.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Some
it was.
research.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, guys, so next week, my show is going to be a wrap for season 4. Can you believe that?
I cannot believe that.
I know. I'm going into season 5.
I know I was looking back at our ones from last year. And
I
it was
know. We're going to have to
so
do
forth.
this more than once a month, I think. A lot of people
It is a
love
lot
to
of fun.
hear about the true crimes or the unsolved mysteries and stuff that happens here in our town, Grayson County area. So,
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for me and Melissa. Melissa?
Good night.
Make sure you guys tune in next week for another episode of Hitting the Streets. Yay! That was awesome.
Hopefully it worked the whole
Oh, I know. Absolutely. That was great. I
time.
loved it. Okay, guys, that's it for us. That is the one story that I said that we were going to talk about this month. Next week, I will be doing a wrap of season 4. See you guys. Bye.